A very warm welcome to the audience as well. We recognize that COVID-19 has made our task and our lives difficult. We have therefore kept the numbers limited and organized a hybrid event so that those who could not be here can watch and see the event online. Thank you for observing the SOPs to avert coronavirus. Those of you who don't have the mask, I would recommend that you can pick one at the entrance and use it. Thank you. Mr. Minister, this institute prides itself in working on themes and issues that are important to Pakistan, especially in the foreign and security policy domains. The institute has established 5 research centers of excellence, one of which is India Study Center that works on not only on India but also on other countries in South Asia. Our priority is to produce quality research, focused and relevant advocacy work on issues again that are important to us. We work in close liaison with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs as well as other stakeholders of Pakistan. Ours is a policy institute and not just an academic research center. We therefore like to assist the government of Pakistan in enhancing and galvanizing the narratives that best serve our interests. Mr. Minister, if I can have your attention. This narrative building is very, very important, and that's sort of overlap between what you are doing and between what we are doing. For example, Prime Minister Imran Khan addressed the UN General Assembly session, and he touched on 8 themes, including Kashmir, climate change, Islamophobia, Hindutva, etc. Now, it is our job, we think, at the ISSI and other think tank community in the country to build on the narratives put out by our leadership. And I'm sure you would agree that when we enhance our narratives, the world would have a better understanding of our perspectives. More recently, we have learned that India's massive campaign of deception and lies ran for 15 long years, with millions of euros spent through a clandestine network of NGOs to malign the good name of Pakistan and to isolate it. Indian Chronicles is a shameful reflection of what India has become. Our researchers are now writing on various dimensions of this massive and malicious propaganda campaign. Equally troubling is the Indian attempts to instigate terrorism in Pakistan and create instability in various parts of our country. On 14 November 2020, our Foreign Minister and ISPR have unveiled extensive details of the nefarious designs of Indian authorities to commit and promote acts of terrorism. Here, if I can take the liberty of diverging a little, today marks there are 2 events that today marks. One is the tragic events of 1971, where the blatant intervention by India, which in a way reflects the same grand strategy of Hindutva. The other is the 6th anniversary of APS tragedy, which too is a reminder to us that our fight against counterterrorism must continue, because we have to address the mindset that gave rise to such extremist elements as well as their foreign backers. Now, there are certain questions that come to mind. What has motivated the Indian leadership to shatter the veneer of democracy and secularism that its founding fathers had sketched for itself? Will the Hindu Rashtra have any space for non-Hindus? Where is the country headed given its exclusionary philosophy? Why is Modi's India bent on confronting every neighbor with hostility? Why does it think that its hegemonic ambitions will be better served with a heavy-handed approach towards its neighbors? Why is it stooping so low to create instability and terrorism in Pakistan and perhaps other countries? It appears that the center of gravity for all these questions lies in the Hindutva philosophy that is guiding the present foreign and domestic policies of BJP government. It is therefore important for us all to better understand what is Hindutva mindset and how is it connected to Indian hegemonic ambitions. That is the essence of the conference, Mr. Minister, that we have organized today. We have an eminent assembly of speakers like Ambassador Jalil Abbas Jilani. I think he should be here shortly. He's there. Air Marshal Javed Ahmed, who is the rector of Air University. They are chairing two sessions after your speech. They will be sharing two separate sessions. We are also grateful to other luminaries, Dr. Khurram Iqbal, Ambassador Asif Durrani, he's here. Mr. Ahmed Bilal Sufi will join us from Lahore by Zoom. And Mr. Khalid Rahman of IPS, he's also sitting there. They're all accomplished professionals, and I thank them all for joining us today. And thank you once again, Mr. Minister, for making it convenient to attend.